Inside him, the little chip. Oh, that's a beautiful goal.
Some Rovers got one back, tears came to my eyes. We went 2-1 up, and I heard those thousands of Sligo people. I was proud, and we went out and won. Best town in the world, best town in the world, best town in the world.
More drama here. Gilani, North, Elding, 3-2.
They'll be looking for Stenson's head away at the far post, and over it comes Elliott. Stenson!
Hi everyone, welcome to the Bitter Reds Supporters Trust after match reception. Well, that was a sickener, wasn't it? Where do we start? Well, I suppose we can start by introducing the two lads, Sean Donner and Shane McGoldrick Magoo. Sean, do you want to kick off the show? I don't feel like it.
Jerry, I don't know what to say. I think I'll sum it up for all of us. It's just sick, absolutely sick. I can't believe what I've just seen, to be honest with you. I thought we had it. I thought we had it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to say about it. I'm sure we'll break it down now in a couple of minutes or so, but it's still settling in. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it's look, it's every fan's worst nightmare, isn't it? It's just the worst feeling in the world, Magoo. He's not picking me up there. Sean, it's a nightmare scenario. What, 94 minutes were due to be played. I think we moved into the 96th. I know people have said Buckley probably shouldn't have made those last two substitutions, but having said that, you'd imagine that 94 minutes is up. It's up.
Exactly. But Jerry, and look, someone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, that if you make substitutions in added time, you can't add on to that again because that's the designated added time that the referee is given. And I'm sure that's why Buckley's going ballistic at the end of the game. Yeah,
it's not like him to go mad either, but I suppose it's the old saying, it's at the referee's discretion, but it depends on who the referee is and who the team is.
Yeah, look, it shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't have given away the corner in the first place, and the defending from the corner is absolutely atrocious, considering we had defended them so well.
Yeah,
leading up to that.
Yeah, it was a huge improvement from the previous games in terms of defending, and we actually looked. I think they had a couple of good chances, in fairness to them, in the first half. But second half, I thought we looked comfortable.
We were nearly happy to give them the ball and let them play, and we were happy to press them and let them make mistakes. Because they weren't amazing on the ball in the second half. Yes, they had plenty of it, but they weren't doing anything with it as such. I felt, there was a lot. They went out to say his name for me on the left.
Birmingham.
Yeah, and Rustin
King.
Yeah, he was their outlet an awful lot in the second half, but he was getting a couple of passes in here and there and a couple of crosses, but nothing that troubled us. They know, like, their two best chances came in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and I know they did clip the top of the bar, but in fairness, I think Ed was pretty comfortable. I think he was okay. But just having said that, and in that chance again, that was a very dubious free kick that was given to them for that header that came off the bar. And I think even the commentators picked up on it, Alan Keane and Adrian Eames.
Yeah, it was constant. Look, the amount of fouls that were given in the game that weren't fouls. We're back again to this nonsense of just going on about referees in a game. It's still in my head in at this stage. It's just fucking takes the joy out of it altogether. Like,
I watched the Bows and Drogheda game, and I suppose it ended up kind of similar enough. But again, I said it on Twitter. I don't know who the referee is, but he was a joke. And Neil Doyle, actually, it's just week in week out with him. I think we received it. Look, in fairness, in my opinion, I think both sides probably deserved one yellow card each. In the game, but we ended up with 3 and they ended up with 2, and again we're coming out of a game where the referee takes center attention, and my God, Neil Doyle really plays up to it, doesn't he?
Oh, he loves it. He absolutely loves it. Magoo, can you hear us there now?
Not really. Sorry, it's just jumping. I can't.
Yeah.
Shite. We can hear you there if you want to give your thoughts on it.
I'm sick. Is my thoughts. Sick as a small hospital. I thought, and I'm more sick like about the defending. Like, we defended so well all game, and we fell asleep at the very last kick of the game, and that's really what I'm sick about. It's not even did the two substitutions need to be made? Would Neil Doyle have blown it up before the 94, around the 94, if the two subs weren't made? Who knows? Like, sure, Neil Doyle's a prick, like, so he could have done anything he wanted. But defending in the corner is really what is sickening me, like, because we defended so well all game, and then to give a free header, and lads, like, I don't know if our lads switched off and thought maybe, you know, as you see more often than not, it goes by the 94 minutes, it goes out for a corner. The minute the corner is taken, the referee blows up. Whether our fellas thought that was going to be the case and they just switched off, I don't know, but it's just gotten sickening. As you said, Jerry, it was more than just the 3 points. It was getting momentum back, and to do it by beating a team like Pats, who were going so well, and clawing a few points back in them, it would have been massive psychologically, but it's just a kick in the guts now.
Yeah, and yeah, we were just chatting about it like literally for a couple of minutes before we went on air, and I just felt that like that game was more than just about the 3 points, and like it feels like a defeat. And I think, you know, look, we've been talking about a statement win, and I think that would have been our statement win there tonight. And it's just between whatever circumstances we blew it though, and yeah.
I think we played like we knew the way we played. We knew how important it was. You could see they were really up for it, and right from the start, we were on the front foot. We were aggressive. We were like in the first half. I think, you know, I was saying to you at half time that I felt we probably shaded it, and not in terms of anything. Only just Pats were happy to have the ball probably in their own half and just play a nice handy ball and keep possession and not go to overcommit too much. Whereas we were looked to be more aggressive when we had the ball and looked to get forward a bit quicker. And I was just thinking, like, you know, if it was on points at half time, we probably would have been ahead. But there wasn't a whole pile in it. Having said that, if we had centre forward up top, we probably would have been 1 up, because there was a glorious chance that Romeo had, and he was just asleep again, like has been happening in so many games recently. But you could see by our intensity and stuff that we knew how important the game was, and that's really going to be the thing that's going to hurt the most. I'd say them lads down in the dressing room, I'd say they're sick just because of that. They would have been so pumped for it, so up for it. They think that they've done everything for the victory, and then for the last kick of the game, like, that's just it's gonna be hard to get back up for the Dundalk game.
Yeah, well, very, very difficult. And that's, you know, it's amazing too how football can change so quickly. I'm sure it'll be, you know, look, I suppose there's lots of positives to take from the game as well. But just going back to Romeo, Sean, his touch is just phenomenally bad.
Terrific, Jerry. Do you know what though? His all-around play today was just absolutely atrocious. For a man that was meant to be playing as the number 9, he was dropping way too deep. He was coming back, like he was trying to win flick-ons. There was no one there. He was flicking it into the centre area where he was supposed to be. Like, it was just a whole lot of nothing out of him today. Yeah, as you says, his touch was fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. I think he looks like a player that's actually bought into his own hype. He's very nonchalant the way he drifts around the pitch. Even there's no conviction in his passes. It's half-hearted. He's driving me crazy out there today. When you seen when Johnny Kenny came on, you know, he was there. He was on with a purpose. Worked hard. Got on the ball. Played it off. Laid it off to lads. Look at the wee 1-2 with Walter that gets him in. And he just goes wide of the post. You know, we seen nothing like that from Romeo. Absolutely nothing. You see Romeo's chance early on in the first half. Lovely ball in from Bulger, I think it was. And he has all the time in the world and he fucking falls over the ball because he's already thinking, about how he's going to finish it before he's even got the ball at his feet. So he's fucking in no man's land with it.
It's just not switched on. As you said, he's so casual with everything, even around the park, like anywhere around the park, he's getting the ball and like he's getting us in trouble in the middle of the pitch with balls that don't have enough weight on them, and they're, you know what I mean, they're suicide balls. They're getting lads in trouble. They're either missing the tackle completely and getting bookings, or it's the Pats lads or whoever we're playing is nipping in, getting off, and we're giving away possession straight away, putting us on the back foot. The same further up the pitch like that. At a chance like that, you need to be on your toes, and he's just not. It's just everything is so casual, and like I don't know what happened for that 20 minutes up in Bohemians. Like what happened? How did this switch manage to be flicked to get that 20 minutes out of him in Bowes? But somebody needs to find it and do it again, because I don't know. Like for that 20 minutes there, everything, he was honest. He wanted the ball. He was driving forward with a purpose. He had intensity. He had everything that you expect from Romeo. And that's it for the season. That 20 minutes. That's been it.
Yeah.
Everything else is just laid back and just.
Yeah, and like I find it, like, we know he has the ability, because look, at the end of the day, you don't get to that level of football, and it is a high level, and he's played in the US and things like that with that type of a touch. There's absolutely no way. You could be the most physical, imposing player, you could be the quickest player in the world, but at the end of the day, the most important thing about football is your touch, and there's no way that he could get to that level of football with that touch. So in my opinion, it's a lack of concentration and a lack of giving a shit.
Yeah,
simple as.
Yeah, you said the most important thing about football is your touch, but the most important thing about football is your head, and he's not on it.
Yeah. And I look, you know, as we said, look, there's loads and loads of positives, and look, you know, we should be celebrating a win. We're not, but at the same time too, look, we don't want to dwell too much on Romeo and you know, the negative side of it.
No, we'll take the positives. I thought Buckley and Mahan again were immense in centre half, and I thought Bulger was just in a different class as well. And we feel like, what a footballer Bulger is, and not just, I don't mean just footballer, but just like all round player. Like his aggression and his drive and his leadership is just unreal. Like, and then add to that, like, the man is well able to play football too. Like, he was brilliant at times in the first half, especially some of the balls he was pinging around the place, and that ball in for Romeo, like, he's outstanding. Like, he's easily one of the best midfielders in the league by a long. Like, I don't know how Shams managed to let him go after losing them two lads. I don't know how they let him go as well.
They must have thought McAniff was staying, because there's no way they would have let him go otherwise. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
Robin as well, outstanding.
Yeah,
brilliant. Really, really good.
Yeah.
I thought Gibson was excellent in the 10.
I thought he was good when he was on the ball. When we got him on the ball, we just couldn't get it to him enough. Whether, you know, I suppose playing against a better team is going to be harder to find him on a regular basis. But like, he is very dangerous when he gets in there. Just the way he can glide by fellas left or right, like, sure, it suits him down to the ground if we can get enough ball to him in there.
Yeah, and look, that was against that's his first time playing there for us, and obviously it was against a really good side in Pats. So, you know, I think he can only get better in that position, and maybe we've found that. Look, he's good on the right. He looks. I think he can grow even better in terms in the middle. And Mark
he looked good on the left too, winning the penalty.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And that's what we want, I suppose. Get players, get the ball down and run at them.
But he was getting that opportunity. With being in the centre, he was getting that opportunity to glide in and be closer to the box that wee bit more and get in amongst them. And every time he did, like, Jesus, there was a couple of times he could have got a couple of penalties the way he broke into the box and was just drifting by lads. Like, Paddy Barrett was afraid of his life of him whenever he went near him.
Yeah. I think they took off their 3 centre halves throughout the game. St. Pat. They actually substituted 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's how much they actually I think Sambon was taken off because you could see he was getting exploited in terms of his lack of pace, with Walter going at him, and there was definitely space there for him. And then I think it was kind of a case of necessity that they made the other substitutions in chasing the game. But yeah, I suppose, look, I'm sure St. Pat's, you were in the game tonight. I'm just going to move to the chat box, lads, just to read out a few comments because there's quite a few coming through again. And then I'll get you to maybe come in and answer what you think of them. So just starting off, Andrew Gorman reminds me of how I felt when Sporting Fingal won all those years ago. Joseph McNally Joseph McNally is agreeing with Alan Cairns. They're sick. Daniel Lynch, and I'll get you to come in this in a couple of minutes. Sean, why in the world is Blaney conceding a corner there? What in the world is he thinking? Connor May, that was rough. I'd have taken 1-1 before the game, but heartbreaking for it to be like that. Ryan Matthews, hard not to be sick, lads, but I will say much improved. Gibson was brilliant, but switched off, 95-minute killer. Give Gary Buckley a 5-year deal. What a player. Kenny scores that 1v1 game over. Yeah, that's, in fairness, Ryan, that sums up a lot of things. But just moving on to a couple of points there, actually, Sean, for yourself. Just the first one about why did Blaney give away the corner? And then the second one just about Gibson and how about the 95th minute goal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Blaney's doing anyway, but I think you have to look even before that is our in-game management. We're up in the far corner and we concede a throw too easily. Whereas you should be trying everything in your power we should be trying to win a corner there at least, get the ball actually in at the corner flag, touching the corner flag. We weren't good enough at that. We're just the wee bits of sinister play that you need at times. You needed to do them there and give away a couple of cynical fouls in around in there at their area. Like, I shouldn't be conceding, letting it come down and concede corners at that stage. Sorry, I'm fucking flustered here. I tell you one thing, I am sick, lads.
Yeah.
I can't even think, honest to God, I can't even think straight. Yeah. All I see is anything, fucking blink, I see need the right space.
Yeah, but Gibson did let Birmingham go, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. No, he was really poor for the goal, unfortunately, from everything else he done.
Spoiled the great game for him.
Yeah, but I think as well, and I could be wrong on this, but the two substitutions would have made a big difference in terms of how we were setting up for our set pieces and who was marking who. And, because you could see from earlier corners in the game, we were very solid on them. They weren't really bothering us too much. Everyone knew their job. Everyone had their man, and we were winning 90% of them. I think they've 1 or 2 chances out of them. But I think those substitutions in the end could have put a little bit of panic in around that last minute corner.
Yeah, definitely. Michael Mulvey, aside from that good performance, shouldn't be complaining too much. Bitter pill. Yeah. Watching Arthur, how was it 4 minutes added? And they score in the 96th minute. Absolute joke. Sorry, I just read what was in front of me. Agreed. Andrew Gorman agreed. Daniel Mahan, Buckley behind him, and McGinty. It looks last stitch, but should have been more comfortable than a last stitch header. Then Boxing Ireland, I think that's Leonard Gunning. I'd have been happy with a draw going into the game, but that feels like a loss and a kick in the hole on the way out the door. Magoo.
Yeah, that's what I was saying already. Isn't it? It's like, yeah, when you do so much and you put so much into the game, and to think you have it won, and then like that, it's a kick. Like, anyone who's played football at any level will tell you when you concede a goal like that in the last minute to snatch a big victory away from you, not just any ordinary game, but a big victory away from you. You're sick for days afterwards. So these fellas have to get back into training tomorrow or whenever and get ready for a game up in Dundalk on Friday. So it's the heads. This is where you need your leaders and your management and everything. The heads on it and get it back in, because if they play like that on Friday up in Dundalk, we could well get something out of that game too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I didn't even look at other results. How did Dundalk finish up?
I think it finished 2-2. I don't know if that was the final score. Someone might put it into the chat box, please. Magoo, saying with yourself there, Christopher Davey said we didn't deserve the 3 points. First half performance was cat. Second was much better, but we made the subs too late. More of him was really poor tonight, most unlike him. Magoo.
You're breaking up the first part of it. Was it the first half performance was?
So we didn't deserve the 3 points. First half performance was cat, meow. Second was much better, but we made the subs too late. More of him was really poor tonight, most unlike him.
Well, I would have said it was probably the other way around. Like I thought we were on top. We were the better, as I said already. I'd say at half time, if you were doing a points card, we probably would have been ahead on the points at half time. Second half, obviously, with us scoring, Pats came into it more, and we were under the cosh towards the end. But you're going to expect that, and I thought we dealt with it fairly well for the most part. There wasn't too many scrambles across their balls flying around the box and stuff like that. There was a couple of great blocks in there by the lads. I don't know who was throwing themselves at balls half time. There was 2 or 3 of them. Every one of them, that's how much they wanted us. They were all throwing themselves in front of shots and stuff, but it wasn't massive pressure. Like we always had the capability to go up the end and score, and we should have scored. Like Johnny had a great chance. Walter, that was a great chance for Walter too. His touch just took him too wide. So I think we were always well careful. I don't think we were massively. I couldn't say that we didn't deserve. Like Pats, I think that they deserve something out of the game, but I thought we had done enough to win. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's just my viewing of it. But
we just bring Sean in on that. What Chris said there.
What else being poor in the first half?
Yeah, Moorhan just been poor as well.
Didn't think we were poor in the first half at all. I thought we were decent. So genuinely. So did Moorhan wasn't great. He gave away an awful lot of possession, so he did, and seemed to be slipping an awful lot. So he did. Footwear mightn't have been right tonight, but I'm sure the pitch was as greasy as everyone wanted, plus the rest tonight. With the weather that was there.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't have said that. I might have been poor in the second half because we weren't on the ball at all. We worked hard off it, but no, I don't think we were poor at any stage tonight. Really, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Donal Ryan, Neil Doyle is the League of Ireland's Mike Dean, loves making it about himself. That's who I was trying to think of earlier on. Rory Breslin, speechless boys. John O'Reilly, late substitutions cost us. Conor Lynch, why make the 2 subs? Magoo.
Well, I know why, just to run the clock down, but it's, I suppose in hindsight, it's cost us not only from the fact of the extra time being added on that they took the corner in, but probably Blaney coming on too. He wouldn't have been at the pace of the game. And the first thing he does is, I don't know, should Ed have been coming out calling that, but he obviously was. If he was in the pace of the game and on longer, he would have known what was around him probably, and he would have just seen that out or let it run through. He would have known he would have had his bearings better. I don't know. I was looking, I was hoping the keeper was going to be coming for it. And then I saw him stretching for it. I can't recall in my head now if there was a player coming behind or that. If he really did need to go for it, or if Ed could have come for it, I don't know. But so I suppose, when you say the substitution in hindsight, it probably was a mistake. But if Neil Doyle had to blow up on 94 minutes, which most refs do, they don't even bother putting on the extra time for the subs. Then everybody would say, "Geez, that was great bit of management there. Wait 30, 40 seconds, whatever."
That's it.
If you do, and if you don't.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and it's just that split second from the corner. I think we switch off, and had that not happened, as you says, look, it was everything. Oh, it was the right thing to do. In fairness to Buckley, he made the previous substitutions before that where the right was what was needed at the time, and it was just a shitty turn of events.
Yeah. We're having no luck neither. In things when you think about it, we really are having no luck. With the goals we're giving away, it's just fucking OGs and keepers' mistakes and fucking last kick of the game, and every goal we concede, you're looking and going, Jesus Christ, there's no the goals we scored in Waterford. If fellas were scoring them, goes, Jesus, that's a great goal, or We're not stopping that. Every goal we concede, there's something to be complaining about, or some.
We've conceded one good goal.
Hard done by. Yeah, feel hard done by with most of the goals that we conceded, and it's not from that I think we're very good defensively. Really, for the most part, in most games we are very good defensively, and then, the one time we switch off, we seem to concede in every game, and I think we're very unlucky so far in that regard.
Yeah. Jared Crystal makes a very good point as well. Just thinking that after moving on me. Sorry. So he's saying just thinking that isn't it great to see that we're disappointed with only getting a point from the top two teams we should have beaten. That is Shams and Pats. Sean.
Sorry, Jerry, I was looking at a comment there. What was that?
Come on, Sean. We could give him a.
I'm as well to go to bed, boys. Honestly, I'm fucking heads up me hole.
Get into the bed there.
You're right beside it there.
I know, and they're trying to never come out again.
So it'll be a tough one to get up tomorrow morning, lads. But we'll be jumping out of bed now. Look, I'll just pick up this myself. Chicken is saying, just thinking that isn't it great that we're disappointed that we're only come out with a point against Shams and Pats. So look, in fairness, yeah. Doesn't feel like that at the minute. It'll probably take a few days to maybe come around to that. Side note, or sorry, Alan Cairns, he's saying, look, Pats are a good footballing side and could say on possession a point each probably be fair. Just the nature of how we conceded. 100% Alan, to hell with fair. We wanted to win, and it probably was. So, but it's a sickener. I'm sure you're feeling as sick as we are. Side note, just Magoo. Side note, and Michael Mulvey is saying it. I think we've seen Forrester back to his best tonight. I thought first half, yeah, but second half he was very quiet until near the end again.
Forrester,
yeah,
but like it was just the way we were playing with our intensity and closing down and not giving anybody a minute on the ball. Like Forrester likes to have, if you give Forrester time on the ball, he'll destroy you. Like, do you know what I mean? So obviously we're going to target him, especially him when he has the ball, and try and get in at him as quickly as possible and stuff. Then I suppose we tired towards the end and drop further back. Like the further back you're going to get, the more space he's going to get, then start spraying things around the place as well. So it was only obvious.
We didn't get near him in the first half.
No, the thing about Forrester is that when you're on the front foot, like we're on the front foot, you won't see him in the game. Like, so that's. We weren't just sitting back. We wanted to go forward at every opportunity. Like, so you're not going to see Forrester defending or anything. So the more he came into the game was the further we dropped back.
Yeah. Kevin Callan, just saying heartbreak, Alan. Kevin Allen responds, and Kevin, just one of those we will never forget. Like Cork years back, first game of the season, conceding in the 8th minute of injury time. I think that was a home game in Harry's reign. And we were deservedly winning 1-0, and they scored in the 98th minute. And I don't think the team ever recovered after that. So football is a cruel game at times.
Yeah, but this is a massive test of character now.
Yeah,
going into Friday night, this is a massive test of character because it is a very young side in general. So the response now, this is where we'll be leaning heavily now on the likes of Bulger and Buckley, is to get into that dressing room, make sure heads don't drop. With the likes of Blaney and Gibson, younger, that maybe will be blamed for the goal as such. But, heads can't drop now because we need to stay focused, because at the end of the day, we've come out of this first round of fixtures and we're in 3rd place. We're exactly where we want to be.
Yeah.
So we just have to go in. Sorry, Jerry?
That's 100% it. And that's, I suppose, it's how you respond to defeat and how resilient you are. And look, Jordan Gibson played very, very well in a position that he's only played one time for us against one of the top teams. And for 95 minutes, he was very, very, very good. Now we probably switched off for the corner. But having said that too, we look back to the Shamrock Rovers game, and he made an unbelievable tackle to save a goal. So, hopefully these things will balance themselves out over the season in terms of our own decision making, rather than. I'd never say decisions from referees balance themselves out over the season for ourselves, but I think for our own decision making, he'll learn from that, McGill.
Oh, he will, yeah, 100% he will. Like, I don't, as Sean says, test the character now as well. And I think there's enough big characters in the dressing room at the minute to not dwell on the mistakes too much. It'll hurt. It'll be kicking the guts for them because of all the effort to put in, and they will feel they deserved it. I know Pats will have a different opinion on it, but I can guarantee you, any of the Rovers players you talk to, they'll feel they've done enough to win the game.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's enough characters to be able to pick them all up, and the likes of Jordan and the likes of Blaney to not be too down on themselves and feeling too sorry for themselves. I think, and even the likes of them, like the likes of Gibson himself and Blaney, like they're I would imagine big characters themselves.
Yeah, and just touching on what on, just touching on Andre, because it was his point that we are just discussing here. I think, or he made a point earlier on about the Sporting Fingal game from a few years ago, and as much heartbreaking as that was, it was probably the turning point for the team, and in that sometimes you need to suffer defeat to feel, and I know it wasn't defeat, but it felt like it, to feel that absolute kick in the what, to make you stronger and go again, and kind of way, it's character building in a way. I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but
it drives you on to be more clinical, Jerry.
Yeah,
going forward, you'll be more inclined to kill teams off that wee bit better and just not be as nice to teams. And it's a massive character building experience. And people might think we're even overreacting with that, but it's just this was a big game today. No matter what, it wasn't season defining by any means, but it was a big game, and it's a tough blow to take. But from what I look at this side and what I've seen from the start of the season so far, I 100% believe this team will bounce back, because I genuinely believe, and especially in Jordan Gibson, make a big statement, but I think we have one of the top 4 players in the league in him.
Yeah, that's some statement.
It's just little things. It's just little things. It's little things. Like, it's not, it's we're not after getting destroyed 4 or 5-0. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just the little things that you're talking about. As somebody made a comment there earlier, saw a flash up that we had a corner in, what was it? What 98th minute was it, or 91st minute or something like that?
93rd or something.
93rd.
Like, as you were saying earlier, so it's the cynical stuff. Like, we should be taking that short corner and just holding it in there. That's what should be done with that, and get a free kick, or at worst a throw to them down beside the corner flag, not just giving them back easy possession. And it's just cynical things like that. Do years ago, like, remember years ago, Pearson used to be brilliant at it, where he'd stand in front of the man and then just fall over and get a free kick for it every time. Like, that's the kind of stuff you want to be doing in the corner, and make them come into the bat and just fall straight over and get your cheap free kick first or whatever, and just cynical things like that. But as you said, Sean, like, and as I was saying there, like, there's enough characters in that team, and to play like that again on Friday night, it's like we'd be well in with getting something out of that game too.
I think a big thing going into Friday night as well, I think Kenny, if he's fully fit, has to start. I think we've seen it now tonight. I think that's he's
100%. We're a different team with him on it. A different team.
And I'll be honest, lads, and I don't think we haven't mentioned them yet, is Mark Byrne. I thought Mark Byrne was brilliant tonight. I thought he was really good. He tired. In fairness, he tired, and that's to be expected, but I'd have absolutely no problems with playing him out on the right. I thought he was brilliant. He was very, very intelligent on the ball at times. There was a couple of times where he was a wee bit isolated, and where other young fellas would have panicked and just played a hopeful pass anywhere. He actually waited for Horgan to make the overlap that he could play him in behind again. He wasn't fearful of anything. He wasn't one bit intimidated by Pats. Sorry, Jerry?
He was very solid, and like, considering it was his debut, he didn't put a foot wrong, and he made some really intelligent passes. And look, it was just something I was looking at before, and I think I might have mentioned it to you. But if you look through the team, and particularly the front players, a lot of them haven't played a lot of senior football in the last couple of years, or at all. Like, if you look at Gibson, before this season, he played, a handful of games for Pats, but he probably hadn't played any senior football before that. Johnny Kenny's only after coming into it. Mark Burns only after coming into it. Romeo, again, I don't think he played much football in the last 2 years, so I think the team will get stronger and we will get more kind of robust and you know, I think we can only get better from here really as we get more experience.
Oh, definitely, we will. We'll mature as a side.
Yeah, and just staying on Johnny Kenny, just Kevin Callan, it's up there on the screen. Lads, we have a star in the making. Kenny is a joy to watch. And Magoo, you were just kind of touched on it there that we're a different team with him in the side.
Oh, we're a totally different team with him in the side. He's you could see that from the Harps game. The difference between the first half and the second half in the Harps game, and the difference between for the last 10 minutes today with just the runs in behind and no more than Mark Byrne. The aggressiveness off the ball. You know, not giving any lads like Mark Burns had put in an awful amount of work tonight with his closing down and his aggressiveness and his wanting to press and the front foot the whole time. Like, you know, we were pressing so high up the pitch, and he was like, without Johnny in the team, it was him nearly leading it a lot of the time. And that's like that's for young fellas like that. The first thought is to work hard, and it's great. Like they'll both have go on to bigger things with attitudes like that, and you can see it with Johnny. Like, just Johnny has the quality he has. I just want him to score one of them chances that he's getting. The chances that he's getting with little 1-2s and run-ins behinds. Put one of them away, and I think he will literally be flying. The goals he's got so far, he's pounced on mistakes and stuff. But once he gets one of them chances away, he'll bang them in for the rest of the season.
Sean, just before you come in there, just on Johnny, I just want to ask you a question about him. Beyond July, or even in July, will he still be here? Like the top clubs, I know we're biased, but like putting that all aside, he is the best 17-year-old striker that I have ever seen in the League of Ireland. There's nobody comparable to him.
Yeah. I don't want to. I'd say Richie Foran.
No. Yeah. Someone like that.
He was unnatural, but no, I'd hate to see Kenny gone in July. I would absolutely hate it. I think he has a big season here ahead of him. I think with a bit of European football and everything, I think there's so much potential here for him for experience-wise. I think he'd be foolish to leave. I know, obviously, if a big club comes calling, it's hard to turn it down, but I'd hate to go this year. I'd love to see us get 2 seasons out of him, this season and next, and then obviously let him go then. I'd just love to see him build a bit of a legacy here before he goes, and you know, really go with that legendary status as such, because if he stays another season, he's definitely getting 20 goals next year. You can tell it by his movement, his off the ball running, everything. He's unbelievable. Like a 17-year-old, as you said, Joe, to watch him play it's a joy. So it is. Even there when he comes on, like he comes into a really intense situation and he's laying off wee 1-2s and making runs around the corner and just misses by a fucking fraction. Like it's, you know, I thought it was in. I was off my seat. I thought it was in.
And at the start of the season as well, at the start of the season, Magoo, we didn't want to really put much. We didn't want to talk him up too much, and we didn't want to put the lad under pressure. But he's just, I just think he's just phenomenal, and I don't think pressure gets to him. Magoo.
No, it doesn't get to him. He takes it all in the stride, doesn't he? Water off the duck's back from him. But like, as I was just about to say, them like that chance he missed tonight, and the one last week in Drogheda where we had the quick break and he just stumbled over the ball. Like this time next year, he's scoring them.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the chances now that he's the chance of another one where he hit the post earlier on the season down in Waterford, I think, and stuff like that. Like at this time next year, I can guarantee you he'd be scoring them types of chances. He could have 6 or 7 goals already this season. Do you know what I mean?
And the thing is,
when he starts to get on his peak form, they will be gone in. So that'll be 6 or 7 goals already this season for a 17-year-old. It's just madness. Like it is. I know he hasn't scored them, but I can guarantee he will. Once he gets one of them type of chances in, he'll go on a run. And like if a 17-year-old ended up with 12, 15 goals for the season in the League of Ireland, it's madness. But I don't think he'd be gone. I think he has too many. I think he's a lot of good heads around him who'll be advising him, and no more than his outfit, obviously. And I think it's different these days in the league than it was years ago. I think lads can stay till they're 19, 20, 21 and before they go across. And when Johnny starts hitting the trail properly, hitting the goal trail properly, he'll have any amount of suitors. Doesn't matter whether it's this year, next year, or the year after.
Yeah, I'm just reading the comment from Ray Matthews on the screen. Lads, next sports sponsor is Rovers Vs Pats. Serious
I want that to happen. I threw it up on the screen because I want that to happen. Let's make it happen. Yeah. I'll do it with one hand tied behind my back as well. Huh?
What's it in? What is it in? Like, is it? You know what I mean?
Well, I'd hope a boxing match.
Is it a drinking contest or a hugging contest, or you know what I mean? But what is it like? What?
I think Sean will beat him at anything. In fairness, just a few more comments coming in here. Mark, and it's kind of backs up what you were saying there as well. Just Darren McMahon, Mark Byrne was quality. No hesitation in starting him next week. Gibson in the middle, and a good outlet for Horgan going forward. Same team, but Kenny in for Romeo. Donald McDonough agreed that Mark Byrne did very well. Very intelligent, composed player for a young lad. Yeah. Stephen Conway, I don't think even benching Romeo will work. I actually don't think he's interested. I hate agreeing with that, but I think I kind of have to, Stephen. Brendan Fitzsimon's disappointed to drop points in such a manner, but 16 from 27 is a super return. Going to Oriel potentially as favourites on Friday shows how far we've come onwards.
I feel worse now just reading Stephen Healy's comment there.
What's that?
What's he on about though? What's he?
For clarity, so that means when they gave the throw in that led to them getting the corner.
Yeah,
that was actually our throw.
Yeah.
So that's the ball comes from them when they win that throw in, and that's where the ball comes from. They get the corner from that, and that's why the boys are going off their head.
So the
linesman said red ball. Yeah, he went over his lines.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's get it on.
You know what, Dunner? I'd say he might still be in the Shoguns, Dunner, if you hurry up.
No, GBH I'd be done for, honestly.
So Paul Cunningham then, excellent performance overall against quality opposition. Bottom line is that injury time substitutions was bad decision, nothing to do with Neil Doyle. Well, I suppose what Stephen just said there, kind of, and in fairness, Stephen will have an inside knowledge into this. So I was kind of starting to calm down a little bit with Neil Doyle, Paul. But after seeing Stephen's comments, it just it's hard to take. So just Stephen again, the comments Stephen O'Donnell makes cannot be repeated. Okay. So AG cost 23. Too excited and proud. How honest we are to be my usual grumpy self after that, but we can improve still, which only bodes well. Yes, we gave a daft corner away and lost a pretty tall guy, but and like that, lads, like what we're and I've said it from the start. We won a few games at the start of the season. We played great football. Brendan Fitzsimon called it out there. He says, 17 points from 20 odd. It's brilliant, but we did get carried away, I think, a little bit at the start of the season that we're going to win the league. That this is a process. This is a building block towards really next season and thereon. And the thing is to get Europe. What do you think, Sean?
That's I've said it from day one. I says I'm not in it. Personally, I never saw this side in a title race. I saw them in a European race, and to get third, that was a very, very successful season for me if we get third, because it means we've built on what we've done last year. And that's all you want to see in the side is progression. I know that sounds very cliched and it's very fucking politically correct answer as such. You're not putting anything on the line, but I think that's all we can want from this season. If we're in and around the title race, brilliant. But, I don't think anyone should be getting too upset that we're not breathing down Shams next at the moment or anything like that. And even at that, we're only 5 points behind them. It's nothing after the first round of games.
Yeah. And I did sense kind of just going through social media and forums and just in general that a lot of people coming into this game there seems to be more disappointed people than excited people, and we're third in the league. I just find that difficult to, and even with the performance there tonight, it was a magnificent performance for 95 minutes. We switched off in the 96th, but we learned from it.
Yeah. It's as you go back to it earlier on, as you says, it's character building. You have to go through these shitty times to get to the good times as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's football. This happens, like, but as I said, I think it says last after the draw of the game, I says this team will go through more good times than bad times this season.
Yeah, definitely. Magoo, anything you want to add before we kind of sign off? I think we're touching on 45 minutes now. So.
No. Maybe it's my fault that everybody would thought we'd be in a title race at the start of the season, seeing as I said it in the pod. But in my defence, I didn't think Pats would be as good as they are. So, and I looking around at everybody else, I was thinking there's not that many teams. Well, obviously the circus that was going on in the Dock ruled them out of it, and then there's nobody else I thought would be that much better than us. Like, so why wouldn't we have a chance? And I honestly don't think we've come anywhere near our peak yet, neither. So,
no.
You know, they can't. The likes of Shams can't keep winning games in the last minute the way they are, and we can't keep having the bad luck we are with the goals we're conceding. So look, you never know. It's a long way to go in the season yet. It's only the first round of games.
Yeah.
So and we are where we are on merit, with the probably bit of bad luck that we've had. You know, we could easily have another 3 or 4 points. So I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason for doom and gloom. I think it's all positive so far. But even if we finish third, as Sean said, it's progress from last season, and all you can do is if your team is progressing every year, then you're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, we are a fan-owned club, so we haven't got someone in the background that can just throw a ball of money at it. You know, it's going to take time. Money has to be spent sensibly. We can see that has happened over the years. Every penny is minded because it's the fans' money, and we don't have that sugar daddy out there that's just going to throw a ball of money at it and make it all, get us to push us on that quickly. It's going to take time, and we're doing it the right way. And you can see from football all over Europe and all this messing about the Super League and United supporters and all that kind of thing. We're doing it the right way, and onwards and upwards. I think
they all want what we have.
Yeah,
that's what they're all writing and protesting for what we already have. We should cherish what we have and be proud of it, and be proud that we are where we are, doing it the way we're doing it.
I take far more.
It feels a lot better.
I take far much more satisfaction watching a team that we have put together now going out on the pitch and, doing what they're doing, knowing that how many of them have come through the youth system, knowing how good our coaches have been to develop them players, and that you just know from top to bottom the club is in good hands and that it's progressing in the right way. Yeah,
and I think that's why it hurts so much as well. And I'm just going to bring Magoo in there in a second. But look, if anybody is interested in joining the 500 Club, you can check it out on the Rovers website and you can become a member. Or like that too, check out the trust and you can join the €2 a week. So as the saying, every little helps. But definitely fan-owned clubs, community clubs is definitely the way to go. And as Magoo said there, all these thousands of fans out there, millions of fans in the world, they want what we have. So, it's all good. And Magoo, I'll just bring you in there.
No, I was just going to say when Sean was on about coaches and stuff, I just want to say a big a big thanks probably and best of luck to Dinky Brian Dorian, the Rovers under 19 and first team coach who's leaving. Well, tonight was his last game. He's going to the FAI job in Donegal, and so I think a massive loss to the club. I think not just as a coach but as a person himself, and so I just want to wish him the best of luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo that as well. Dinky is an absolute gentleman. He's so passionate about football. He's a really great person towards the players, the young lads. They all have so much respect for him and look up to him. And he epitomises what Sligo Rovers Football Club is all about, and we really, really will miss him. And the best of luck to him and his family. And it's great that he's moving on to something like the FEI, and you can see his legacy on the pitch there tonight, along with all the coaches.
Yeah.
We must have
I said that to the other day. His legacy will be there on the pitch for him to see anytime he turns on the telly. He can be awful proud of what he's done and being involved with it. Like them all the underage coaches down there are doing fabulous work, and they all should be very proud of themselves.
Yeah. I was looking at a stat there. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
No, just after saying something there, lads, just on a completely somber note as well, but just our former manager, Dermot Keely's son, Alan, has passed away. Just to send our condolences to Dermot, to Dermot and his family.
Yeah. Very, very sad.
I knew him, Alan.
Yeah. He used to be out in the street in Cedar Drive, McGo.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, good footballer.
Yeah.
He was a very good footballer.
So, look, it's very, very sad news, and I was going to say just about a stat, just to, in terms of Dinky and that as well. Just that I was looking at a stat there, not from last season, but the season before. I think Dundalk. When you look at clubs like Dundalk, and again going back to the Sugar Daddy thing, 2 seasons ago, I think their academy players played something like 55 minutes football throughout the entire season. UCD, I think they were in the Premier Division at the time. They obviously had the most, and Sligo Rovers was second. But again, we are doing things the right way and building the club, and not building it on a pile of sand. So I just wanted to just touch on that, and not to take away from the sad news for the Keely family. And look, that's very sad. So I suppose on that note, look, we'll part ways, and we'll meet up again Friday night. Oh, sorry, and we'll have the podcast will be out on Thursday morning. So again, just if anybody has any shouts from the shed end, look, I'm sure everybody's got loads of opinions on tonight's game. So if you want to do a 30-second recorded message, and just even send it into ourselves on Twitter, and we'll put it up for you. And look, it just adds to the show as well. It just gives a bit of variety. And just to talk about just for a couple of seconds. I know we were supposed to be gone a few minutes ago, but I suppose this show is, it's not really. We're not trying to be, a top class podcast here. This is more of a kind of a magazine, I suppose, football show. And that's why it's called the Aftermatch Reception. Our podcast then is probably more kind of in terms of your traditional type podcast. But having said that, we also like to have plenty of guests on so that they can kind of talk, and it's not really about us, and just to give you that variety. And look, I think
we have a big one this week.
We do. Yeah. So Joey and Doe will be joining us on Thursday's podcast, so that should look back. Anytime Joey talks, it's always interesting. So
lads,
go on, Sean.
No, just for everyone there that's in the chat and everything, thanks a million for coming in and getting the comments going and everything, because honestly it creates a good bit of crack and a bit of debate and all that throughout the show. It keeps it going. And just, lad, if you can just hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the Borst YouTube channel as well. It helps grow this for us as well. You can see we've had our little cosmetic surgery here tonight. There's a few little added extras and stuff like that. Yeah. So look, we're just going to, absolutely massive shout out to Kate. He's doing a huge job for us behind the scenes. So so just makes it all that wee bit much better for you to look at and everything else. So look, thanks again, lads.
Yeah, and Alan Kieran says it's good therapy, and I actually do feel better when I come on. To be honest with you, I didn't want to come on tonight. I was just sick in my stomach, but I feel better after, and I hope everybody else does too. And look, we're moving in the right direction, and up the Rovers. Up the Rovers is right. We'll sign off. Cheers, lads.
See you there,
Thanks a million, boys.